Alright, we brought the Fart Dart gun or the Zakti to level cap. Pretty chill run. Have to say that the Zakti's, it's impressive how it's able to keep Cascadia flare up. It triggers from both the primary hits and also the explosion. So you're able to stack it pretty fast. Especially if you have a cluster of enemies. I might just die. Shock Aximas are no joke. Really has been a... It was chill, but not the easiest of them all. Because the Zakti actually suffers from a crit problem. It really doesn't have a lot of crit. And really, when you get crit going, either with Arcane Avenger and Combat Discipline, or through a Darzakavat, this is where it really starts to shine. You really see the damage. I've done a first round without the 46, without using Expedite Suffering, which I think is probably one of the abilities that can really increase the weapon's damage by a ton, since we're dealing with heat and also gas. So pretty good for both, even though the gas is not going to be a big part of the damage. Still there, still gets a good benefit from Expedite Suffering, so it's pretty okay to have. When I get both Arcane Avenger and the Cat to buff, I'll have a pretty decent chance of getting orange crits, and that's pretty nice. Enemies just melt. Yeah, that's only happens a few times. Now might be one of those times. Use Expedite Suffering, but still gonna keep shooting. Didn't had a bunch of good stacks there, but we're pretty decent. And I really just started using Expedite Suffering when I was at past probably wave 42, 43, because that's really when things started just let's say that if you don't have the consistency is hard to say, because we're dealing with buffs that, yeah, timed buff from the Darzakavat, and also the Arcane Avenger has a chance of happening. So yeah, that's after that wave 42 or 43 is where things really, you started really missing the damage from the crit. And so that's when I really started using it. Just gonna give a few more shots. It's probably dead. Yeah. Used one more time just to be sure. But really, if Zakti really just had a little bit more crit, oh boy. I've even been wondering, how could we make this better? Like, could this weapon be used with, let's say, hemorrhage? Of course, we would only get the procs from the direct hit, but yeah, maybe the damage would be too low. But I mean, the impact procs are there, really. Time you hit it, you'll see the impact procs there, so it's pretty interesting. Also, it made me question this weapon as a primer, because you have the IPS, or if you don't, you can't really proc slash. I'm not even sure if it has slash, but if it doesn't have slash, you can slide in hemorrhage, and you'll get the force slash. So you can get... Nope, couldn't proc Arcane Avenger there. Hopefully the cat gives us a buff. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes when you don't have the buff. If I wasn't using Expedite Suffering, that wouldn't be possible. I'll see you guys. Yeah, so let's go. Another one done. Let's get on to the builds now. Ash build. Seeking Impulse, Combat Discipline, Argon Avenger. Nothing too different from the usual. Fashion frame is new. Calling this the Atomic Ash. Mutilus Cernos build. This build is even... This build is wrong. I think. Yeah. This wasn't supposed to be the... I'm not sure now. I'm not even sure now. Oh my god. Yeah. No, I think it's probably right. It's just... Yeah, I confused it with this build, which has internal bleeding to actually get, and even piercing caliber. It's probably one of the weirdest builds you guys will ever see. But this build, using these mods, just make it work. Puncture is slow, slash is even lower. With internal bleeding, we guarantee the slash, and piercing caliber allow us to get the, just to get the puncture there. It's not that hard, but yeah. This is the hidden inherit build that I've made for this. Pretty okay. Zakti Prime build. This is it. Riven, hidden damage, really nothing too crazy. This Riven is even kind of bad, let's say. Hidden damage, like what? Then the Zaw, Contagion Zaw. Yeah, one you guys see every time. And the Adarza Kavat. Yeah, Zakti run ran smoother than I thought it would, just because of the crit. Told you guys the crit was even going back there. Crit is a problem. 80% crit chance. Jesus, it's really low. Still doable with enough buffing. Yeah. Let me know what you think about Zakti. Leave it a like, consider subscribing.